Morning. I'm delighted to be here with you in a yoga class. It's going to be a class that is a kind of hybrid of, flow, yin, and maybe with a little bit of sprinkling of Iyengar, just because I started taking Iyengar many years ago and I continue to study it, although I don't teach it particularly. So I'm just going to work with my fingers, doing a little functional mobility at the minute. And I'm just playing the piano here. And I'm drawing my fingers up above my head and then opening them out and back and down and bringing them up and opening them out and back and down, up and back and down. And now I'm going to go the other way, opening them out and back and down. Good. Now I'm going to make a fist with my hand, with my thumb inside, and I'm going to squeeze them very hard. And you should feel it all the way up your forearm and your arm squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Good. And now I'm going to flick my fingers out, stretching my fingers as wide as I can. Now the thumb, you can overdo the thumb, so you could stretch your thumb out, but not, you don't have to torque it so that it's sore. Good. All right. And then fist fingers, and then stretching it out. So we're going to do the flick off. These are torturous times in the news. So I'm going to do the flick off, which is just flicking off all of your cares and woes and working to find a sense of equilibrium for these minutes that we're going to spend together today. And hopefully that sense of equilibrium and calm and mindfulness is something you can carry into your day. All right, and then shake it out. Very nice. All right, let's lift our shoulders up and bring them around and back and up and back, and then the other way. Very nice. All right, let's hold on to our shoulders here, and I'm going to draw my fingers towards my spine. I'm going to just walk them towards my spine. And then I'm going to open my arms out and put the palms together and lift the shoulders up and stretch the arms towards, away from you. There. And here we're just doing eagle arms. If that's too much for you, you can just hold on to your shoulders. It does a lot of good work. So you do you. Good, now we're just opening the arms out, and then we're going to close them again with the other arm on top, and I'm walking my hands towards my spine again. And then I'm opening my arms out again and putting my palms together. Lifting my elbows up and pressing my hands towards, away from you. Good. All right, let's open the arms out. Good. I'm going to do a little bit of work with my neck. So I'm going to drop my chin to my chest and look at my third eye here. So I'm crossing my eyes. And then I'm going to lift my head up and I'm going to look at my nose. And then drop my head down and look at my eye. Look at my third eye between my eyebrows. And up again. And I'm going to do that again. And then up again. Third eye. And nose. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Now we're going to just look to the right, and then to the left, to the right, and the left, right, and left. Good. And we're going to drop the chin down and work over, looking over the other side, and then dropping the chin down. Good. Very nice. All right, so let's shake it all out. Now we're going to just come back and sit on our toes, this is called a toe squat. And it's a very uncomfortable pose. It's actually a toe mobility movement. And, but it's really good for us to do. It's kind of thing, it's sort of like liver, if you don't really like liver, but it has a lot of iron in it. Or whatever it was you were supposed to be eating when you were a child and your mother was trying to make you do it. So the toe squats are a bit like liver or whatever it is you don't really like doing. And here, the more you do it, the easier it is. I've just turned my toes under. And if it's too much for you, you can, of course, come up forward and just slap your toes. And then you could potentially go back into it, which we will do for a moment. And I'm going to do some, just some shoulder and arm movements to divert our attention here. So we're looking up at our thumbs, and then we're coming down again. And we're going up again, inhaling, and then coming down. Inhaling, and coming down. Inhaling, and coming down. Inhaling, and coming down. Good. Moving our elbows around and the other way. And we're going to just move our arms around in circles. We're patting our torso. Good. All right, now we're going to come forward and we're going to slap the fronts of our feet on our to feel a tremendous sense of release. Good. Now we're in our on our hands and knees, and we're going to be doing cat and cow here. Now here we're going to do cat and cow, but we're going to think about it a little bit differently. We're going to drop our chest to the mat as though it's just letting the front body loose to the mat. Imagine our spine is coming down like a knife through butter. And now we're going to lift that spine up and draw the navel towards the spine. And we're lifting the whole spine up. So we're beginning at our tailbone, and our tailbone is turning under, and the rest of the spine is moving up. And we're working, especially trying to work with our thoracic spine. It's very hard to move our rib spine, but it's really important to see if we can develop more mobility in it. Now I'm just going to go back down again into cow, and then back up into cat, exhaling into cat, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And now we're going to do just some mobility. So if your spine is able to move like this, I'm just moving my shoulders and my spine. I'm just developing a large squiggle of the spine. And I'm moving up and around. So I'm moving my tailbone around in a circle, and I'm moving my shoulders as well. All right, good. So let's come back into a child's pose. We're stretching our arms out, and we are walking our hands towards the left and stretching our fingers out and stretching our hips back. So here, if I'm moving towards the left, my right arm is moving forward and my right hip is moving back. And we're breathing into that side body, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling
and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And over the other side, we're stretching out, our arms are stretching out. And we are moving our left hand on the diagonal and our left hip back. So they're moving in opposite directions. And we can feel those open ribs. We're inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And now stretch out the fingers towards the front of the mat, and your hip bones are moving towards the back of the mat. Good. Now let's come up onto our hands and knees again. We're going to do bird dog, and we're just stretching the right arm out and the left leg back. And we're balancing here, pressing the hand into the mat and also pressing your front shin into the mat and your front of your foot into the mat. And I'm going to stretch out through my heel, and I'm going to rotate my ankle here while I'm doing this. And I'm going to rotate it the other way. And then I'm going to stretch my toes out and then stretch my heel out, stretch my toes and heels, and then rotate. So you do you here. Just a little ankle mobility. Good. Now I'm going to draw that knee in, and I'm touching my elbow to my knee and stretching it out again. Exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and putting that arm down. And I'm working with the other arm up and the other leg up. And we'll just do more of those rotations of the ankle and the other way. And pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing, and then you do you. We could work with the wrists as well if you wanted to. So we're doing a little joint mobility while we're doing our bird dog. Good. And now we're going to come in, exhaling, and in, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and last one. Good. All right. Now let's come back again into child's pose and stretch out. And now we're going to walk our knees, put our knees right underneath our hips, and walk our hands forward in puppy pose. Here we are opening our armpits again and feeling that beautiful opening. You could have your hands on blocks if you wanted a deeper stretch. Now here we're just breathing, and we're going to stay for a moment just to allow the shoulders to open. And this holding the pose helps us to develop resilience, and it allows gravity to play a role in our movement. And it also allows more of the body to let go. It takes about 90 seconds for the connective tissue to be affected in these movements in a deeper way. Good, all right. So let's come back up, and we're just going to walk back towards our downward dog. And here we're going to take quite a narrow downward dog. I'm just going to pedal my feet, and my belly is towards my thigh. And then I'm going to take a narrow downward dog here. And I'm going to just be, you find a space that feels good for you, because we're going to do a few movements that are intended to strengthen our arms. So we're going to touch the opposite ankle with our hand in this downward dog. And you can move your feet back and really feel the stretch here. So exhale, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. So let's bend our knees and walk our hands back and come to standing. And here we're going to just have bent knees, slightly bent knees. And I'm going to just dangle here. So you can straighten one knee and then the other, straighten one knee and then the other, one knee and then the other, one knee and then the other. Good. Now we're going to I'm putting my right hand underneath my head, and I'm going to lift my left arm up, and I'm keeping the left leg straight, but I'm bending the right knee. So we're doing a twist, a forward bending twist, and now we're going to do the other way. So the arm that's up is straight, and the same leg is straight while the other one is bent. And we're just breathing here, and we'll do the other side. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. And the other side. Good. And now let's dangle again. And we're just going to extend our arms out, or you could put your hands on your hips. And we're either going to come up with straight arms, or we're going to have our hands on our hips. And we're just going to rotate up. There we go. Good. All right. And I'm going to move the camera back a little bit more so that it's there. There we go. You can see a bit more of my body. There we go. All right. So here we are. We're just standing, working on some standing poses here. So I'll do them sideways just to give you a different view. So we're going to stand and open our arms out and open our feet out, our legs out into a fairly wide stance. And here we can put our hands on our hips, and we're going to come forward and just dangle here. Then we're going to walk our hands over to our ankle. You could have blocks here if you wanted them. And we're going to open our elbows up and really feel a nice stretch. And then we're going to come back again to the other side, open our elbows up, feel that lovely stretch in the hamstrings. You could have your legs bent if you like. And we're coming back again. Now I'm stretching my arms out here. My ears are between my upper arm. I'm drawing my shoulder blades down my back. So my head is quite loose here. Good. And once again, I'm going to either put my hands on my hips or keep my hands extended above my head and come up. Good. All right. So let's do a sun salutation to begin. So we're going to inhale up, open out, exhale down, and then we're going to draw the right leg back, drop the knee, and lift up, inhaling, framing the front foot, exhaling, and then back into a plank. And here we're going to stay for a moment or two, drawing the seatbelt of our lower abdomen up about 25-30%, and pressing into our hands, pressing into our heels, and working to breathe here. If you want more strength training in your arms, you could move your right hand forward, then your left, right hand back, left hand back, left hand forward, right hand forward, left hand back, right hand back. And you could repeat that. And it's very good, especially if you want to develop your arm strength. And now we're going to do chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. You decide. If you're doing chaturanga, I've been making sure that I move forward slightly so that when I come down, the weight is above my hands. Good. And then I'm pressing my hands into the floor and coming up into a low cobra. And then I'm moving back down. I'm going to do that a few times. I'm going to inhale up and then come back down. And then inhale up and come back down. Good. Now this time I'm going to put my hands out with my fingers into the ground, my elbows raised, and I'm going to raise my shoulders, my chest, and my head. Breathing here. And I'm going to come down again. And then my shoulders, chest, and head. And then I'm coming down again. Good. Now I'm putting my hands back under my shoulders, and I'm going to press back into a downward dog. So turning my tail, my toes under, and stretching my heels towards the floor. It doesn't matter if they reach. It's the effort that matters. And I'm pressing my thighs back here. And I'm letting my head go. I'm rotating my upper arms out and just letting my head fall. And we're going to have 5 breaths here. So we've had several, so let's do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. I'm going to lift my right leg up, bring the knee to my chest, and bring it forward and drop the back knee. And here I'm going to just come up, lift my arms up and look up, inhaling, and then down. Now we're going to just extend that front heel out. This is for your hamstring. And we're going to just hinge forward with our arms back, palms facing. And then we're going to come back, opening out our front hip flexor here and bringing our arms up. And we're going to go back again, exhaling, and then inhaling. And exhaling, and inhaling. Exhaling, inhaling, and really feel that you're pressing your hips forward here. And then we're going to come back. Good. And we'll just take that and we'll go to the other side. So we'll extend that heel out. And once again, we will extend our body forward. Our arms are coming back. We're exhaling. And then we're planting the foot and bringing our hip forward and raising our arms. Inhaling. So it's exhaling and then inhaling. Exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And last one, exhaling and inhaling. Good. So let's plant the foot and draw that back leg forward into a forward fold. I will invite you just to allow yourself to dangle And you can press one leg and then the other and feel the lovely lassitude of your upper body and the strength of your lower body. And we're going to rotate up and open our arms out. Good. All right. So let's try another one, another sun salutation. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And then plant the hands and come back into a plank. And then exhale down, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. And inhale up into a low cobra or an upward dog. And turning your toes under, we're coming back to our downward dog. And we'll raise the right leg up, point the toe, bend the knee, draw the foot towards the glute, and imagine that the hips are one on top of the other in this lovely little twist. Good. Stretch that foot out and put it down. And we'll do the other side, stretching the other foot up, bending the knee, opening the hips, and holding. And trying not to skew your shoulders. So we'll try and keep our shoulders on an even keel, even as our lower body is twisting. Then stretch the leg up and put the knee down. Go back into your downward dog. Breathing. Now lift the right leg up, bring the knee to the chest, and drop the back knee here. And your front foot is coming forward. You're in a low lunge. You're going to put the hand on the inside of your front foot, and you're just going to turn and do a twist here. Or you can lift the back leg up, stretching out through the back heel, lifting the back thigh, and twisting towards your front leg. Good. Now let's bring our hand down to the inside of that front foot, and we're going to work with our lizard. Now, here we're we could be up on blocks here, or you could have the back knee down. And I'm just going to stay here for a moment. Then I'm going to lower down onto my forearms potentially, although you don't have to do this. And you certainly could have the back knee down. And here we're just feeling the opening of the groin, the stretching of the front hip flexor, and we're trying to press into the back heel. And now I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to lower the back knee, and I'm just going to come forward in a little counter movement here. Good. All right. Now, I'm just going to take this front leg, and I'm going to bring it back so that my knee is forward and I'm on the sort of the side and the shin of my front foot, and I'm drawing my leg back into a lovely pigeon, which is very good for the sciatica. And here, in this pigeon, if you're finding it really difficult, you could be up in blocks here. You could walk around towards that front knee and then draw the back leg back and then come back to the front. That helps alleviate any pressure on your knee. So, and here you'll feel really a stretch in your glute and in your front hip flexor. Here we go. Very nice. Good. And now I'm just going to go and do a twist here. So I'm bringing that front leg around and drawing it over the thigh
My other leg is, my other heel is very near my buttock. And I'm going to stretch the opposite arm to this raised knee up, press the back hand into the floor and twist. So here you could hold on to the leg and twist around, or you could use the arm to twist this way. And I'm breathing. And now I'm going to come back, press into the front, press into the other side in a counter twist gently, and then come back. Good. And now I'm just going to stretch my legs out. And I'm going to go back into a tabletop, but I'm going to bring the other leg forward. And I'm going to draw my back foot back into a twist. So here you could have your leg down and be twisting, or you can lift your leg up, pressing into the back heel and turning your body towards your leg. All right, let's put our hand down here. Both hands, we're going to do lizard again. So once again, you could have your knee down, or you can have your knee up, and you can lower down if you like onto your forearms, if that feels good. Your foot should be underneath your knee, and there shouldn't be any pressure in your knee. If there is, then drop your back knee or come up. And you're breathing here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, pressing into the back heel, pressing the thigh up, and now dropping the knee again. And here we're going to come up and draw that front leg. We're going to come over there in a little counter movement. Then we're going to come back. And here we're drawing our foot back and then our knee forward so that we're working towards a pigeon. And in the pigeon, I've developed this interest in this new little adaptation, which is to walk my hands towards my knee and then draw that leg back and then come back to the center. And that tends to alleviate pressure on my knee, which is a good thing. And here I'm holding myself up, or I'm coming down into a sleeping pigeon. So you do you, and feel the lovely opening in your body. We're breathing. We'll stay here for a moment or two. We're going to come up and drop our hip to the ground, draw our back leg around, place that foot over the thigh, draw the other foot towards your glute, and we're in a half Lord of the Fishes here. So pressing that same hand as raised knee into the back, into the floor and the back, lifting your arm up and twisting from the waist towards that leg, using the arm as a lever in whatever capacity you can, or just holding on to the leg and lifting up.
And now we're coming back and pressing into the front, into the side rather, into the other side, into a counter movement, a slight twist. Good. All right, so let's stretch our legs out and give them a little shake. And we're going to come up to standing again. And we're going to just do a few of our standing poses here, where we'll work with our wide-legged triangle. So, and here you could have a block, if you like, behind your foot, or you could just work with your shin. So I've just got my legs in quite a wide pose here, and I'm raising my arms up, shifting my hips back, stretching my front arm either to my shin or to a block in whatever capacity that block has to be high or low. And here I'm trying to stretch the side of my body out as well so that they're even on each side. And here you can have your hip up or you can rotate your hip slightly down. And we're simply feeling that stretching of our body, the opening of our chest, and you can look up towards your hand if your neck allows it. Good, and now we're going to come up, turn the other foot forward, and once again, I'm just tilting back here and stretching out, and then down and lifting up. And now let's come back, turn the feet the other way, we'll bend the front knee, and come down. So I'm lengthening my my stance here, but you find your stance that works for you. And here we're lifting up, feeling really the power of this pose. Our fingers are moving back and forward, and we're really sinking down, 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 and we're lifting our lower abdomen up. Good. Pressing the back thigh back, and stretching out into extended side angle. You can have your forearm on your thigh, or you could lower your hand to a block behind you. So you do you, and stretch that arm out. So we're stretching from the tip of the finger to the outside edge of the back foot. Good. Rotating the chest towards the ceiling or the sky. Good. Now press into the front foot. We're going to come back into Warrior Two, and press and come back into Gentle Warrior. Our hand is curving around here. And then coming forward into Warrior Two, stretching out, exhaling. And then back, inhaling Warrior Two, exhaling and inhaling. Exhaling Warrior Two, inhaling, stretching out and over, and then exhaling Warrior Two. Last time, inhaling up and over. And then back into Warrior Two, straighten the legs, and we'll rotate the feet towards the other side. Good. And we're coming down, down, down again, feeling ourselves and feeling us lift. I have lots of flabby fat from my medication, so it all sits right here. But anyway, I'm going to just lift up that seatbelt. Feel the lower abdomen come up. All right, there we go. And I'm sinking down, 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 and lifting my arms up. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to look at the front hand. Drawing the back thigh back. And breathing. Feeling the power of this pose in this very moment. Warrior Two. Virabhadrasana 2. Now I'm stretching forward, extending, dropping the forearm, lifting the arm over,
And then pressing into the front foot, coming back into warrior two, and then straightening that front knee over into gentle warrior. And then down again. Extending out again, and down and over. And then rotating those ribs up. And back into warrior two. And up. Inhaling. Exhaling, warrior two. Inhaling. Extended side angle. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And last time, exhaling. We're going to turn the feet around and we're going to go forward again onto our hip in a lovely movement in our hip creases. We're going to come down to the floor. You could be up on blocks here, or you could just stretch your arms out. You could stretch if you're on blocks, you could stretch your blocks out. And if you're on the floor, just stretch your arms out. You can lift your tailbone up here. And if you like, you could hold on to your ankles and use your elbows to draw yourself further down, if that's in your wheelhouse, as they say. And let your head go. Lift your tailbone up. Draw your thighs back to straighten your legs. And just suspend yourself here. Good. All right, now we can put our hands on our hips, or we can have our arms extended out and we are lifting up and opening our arms out and drawing our feet into Tadasana. We'll find our beautiful mountain pose here and feel that sense of strength, of power. We really are empowering ourselves in our yoga practice. And we're feeling in Vandascaravali's words, she talks about the body split in the middle with the strength and the power and the heaviness of the lower body and the lightness of being in the upper body. So we're feeling that sense of grounding. And we can move forward slightly. We can shift forward slightly towards our toe mounds and then shift back towards our heels. And then find a space of equilibrium somewhere near the back of your arches. You could lift your toes up and then spread them out and lower them down. And feel your that magnanimous puppeteer drawing your crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And where our shoulder blades are moving down our back. Our xiphoid process, that spear-shaped bone at the base of your sternum, is in line with your pelvis here. And you're just standing and imagining this is where you're going to come back to all during the day. You find the body memory of this beautiful pose in your everyday life. Very good. All right, so now we're going to just do a tree on either side, just do a little balance, lifting our foot up, pressing it into the thigh, and finding your tree pose. So I don't have very good balance on this side at all, so you may be, depending on the state of your ankles, this ankle was broken quite badly, so it doesn't. The other one was broken badly, but it seems to be perfect. This one is a bit wonky. So you find your own tree pose. You could be in prayer pose. You could have your arms up. You find whatever works for you. And we are pressing our foot into our thigh, thigh into our foot, and we're drawing once again that
xiphoid process towards towards the same plane as your pelvis. Good. All right. And now let's lift our knee up, and we'll go to the other side. All right, here we go. So standing in Tadasana, and then just drawing that leg up and pressing it into the thigh into the foot. And here, find a drishti, a focal point somewhere in the floor in front of you where you don't have to tilt your head down, and a still point where you can focus. So this is mindfulness training, this focusing. Oops. And if you fall out of it, you just go right back in. There's no failure here. It's a journey, as they say. Bit of a cliche, but it is true. That's why it's a cliche. Oops. All right, I seem to be very unstable this morning. All right. Oop. All right, lift that leg up and bring it down, and we're going to come down to the mat. We'll do some final work on the mat. You might want a drink of something. And right, turn back. I have a block nearby, and I'm going to roll down my knees up, and my arms are in a V by the side. I'm going to lift my pelvis up and put that block underneath my sacrum, or the flat part of my lower spine. And you might play around with it, see where it feels stable. And then I am drawing my shoulder blades down my back by stretching my arms up at my side. And then I'm going to lift one knee up and stretch it up. I'm going to lift the other knee up. Now, if that's too much for you, just keep one knee up, and then you could try the other knee and the other foot up. And then eventually you might want to try both knees towards your head, and then stretching your heels up. And I'm just breathing here, feeling a sense of relaxation after working all the parts of our body during the last 45 or so minutes, 50 minutes. And now I'm going to open my legs out, and I'm just going to leave them there. Now, if that's too painful, you can just raise them up and go back to your straight up legs. But this is a wonderful pose because it allows gravity to help you open up your groins here. And now I'm going to bring my feet together and then raise them up and stretch the heels out again. I'm going to rotate my feet here, and then I'm going to bend my knees to my chest, put my feet down, lift that block up, and then come down. And I'm going to do some bridge movements here. So I'm pressing my feet into the ground near my hips. And when I come up into bridge, I'm tilting my tailbone up and bringing my vertebra up. And then I'm going to come down, rolling that vertebra by vertebra. And this time when I do it, I'm going to lift my arms up. So tilting my tailbone up and my vertebra, and I'm going to lift my arms over my head, pressing my pelvis and my chest to the sky, and my thighs to the sky. And then I'm coming down again, rolling down. And now I'm pressing up again, tilting my pelvis up, and then pressing my pelvis up. My tailbone is tilting up. And then I'm going to roll down again. So let's tilt our tailbone up and press our pelvis up, press our chest up and over our arms go. And then rolling back down again. We'll do that twice more. So we're tilting our pelvis up, pressing our pelvis, our thighs, our chest up, and our arms are going over our head again. And we're inhaling here, exhaling, pressing our pelvis up. And now we're going to roll down again. And then last time, tilting and coming up. And our arms are moving over our head. We're breathing, good. And now we're rolling back down. Bringing our knees to our chest. And then rolling back and forth. I'm putting my hands on my knees and stirring my legs like I'm stirring a spoon in a pot of soup here. One way and then the other. So my feet are now planted on the ground near my hips. I'm shifting my hips towards my right, and I'm dropping my knees towards the left and stretching my arms out. I'm looking at the back arm. Now I'm rolling back, finding the center, and I'm lifting my hips up and moving them in the opposite direction and dropping my knees over. And looking towards the back hand and feeling the lovely twist here. And you can, if you like, lift the top leg up and catch your foot underneath the bottom leg. That can increase your twist. And you could put your hand on the upper thigh and gently draw it down. It's not an aggressive movement at all. Both shoulders should be on the ground here. So let's roll back to the center your feet, your hips, and now I'm going to just draw my knees to my chest, stretch my arms out, and catch the outer edges of my feet in happy baby pose. And here, when I'm in happy baby, I'm going to draw my tailbone towards the ground to lengthen my spine. So the tendency is for the tailbone to curve up. But here I'm making an effort to draw my tailbone to the floor. Now I'm going to let go of my feet, place them on the ground, and then extend one leg and then the other in Savasana. And in Shavasana, it's useful to remember that it is called corpse pose, and that we are in this pose contemplating death. And this contemplation can have different effects. I like to think about the contemplation of death in the corpse pose is really an invitation to live every moment with joy, to choose joy, to choose connection with others, to choose good health, if we can manage it, or better health under the circumstances, to choose friendship and love, to choose peace and resolving conflicts. We're just breathing here, feeling every part of our body relax. Our legs, our hands, our arms, our forehead. And I'll leave you in silence for a moment.
Be where you are. You can cultivate the four limitless qualities of love, compassion, joy, and equanimity by learning to relax where you are. There's no problem with being where you are right now. Even if you feel loving kindness and compassion for only one sentient being, that is a good place to start. Simply acknowledging, respecting, and appreciating the warmth is a way to encourage its growth. We can be where we are and at the same time leave wide open the possibility of being able to expand far beyond where we are now in the course of our lifetime. Expansion never happens through greediness or pushing or striving. It happens through some combination of learning to relax where you already are, and at the same time, keeping the possibility open that your capacity, my capacity, the capacity of all beings is limitless. As we continue to relax where we are, our opening expands. This is the potential of a human being. This is a gift of a human birth. When we say, may I have happiness, or may I be free of suffering, we are saying that it is the potential of a human being to expand our capacity for opening and caring limitlessly. It starts out with feeling love or compassion for one being. It can expand to include more and more beings until it reaches the full human capacity for connecting with love and compassion, which is limitless, free-flowing warmth, dynamic, alive, connected energy with no reference point. This is our human potential, to connect with the true state of affairs. It begins with being where you are. And with that, I'll invite you to feel the tingling in your toes and in your feet, and feel the opening of your eyes. You could stretch your arms out, your legs out. You could draw your knees into your chest. And in your own time, roll onto your side and come up to a seated position. And here I'll just express my gratitude for your joining in this present moment or at some moment in the future. And I'll put my hands, one on my hara beneath my navel and one on my heart. And I'll empower my heart and I will harden my power. Now inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now I'll put my hands together. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. The teacher and the student in me sees and honors the teacher and the student in you. Deep bows to all of you. And I'll dedicate the merit of this practice to all those living beings suffering anywhere. Thank you. And I will see you when I see you.